Hello and welcome to my summer favorites video. I've not done one of these in a hot minute, but I had a lot of things that I loved over the summer, and so I wanted to talk about them. For example, skincare, K-drama, music, books, manga, etc. I made absolutely no notes for this video. And as always, I'm drinking coffee, so yay! It is officially the last week of summer for me because I go to school next week as of when I'm filming this. Holy what the crap. This time last year, I had absolutely no plans to go back to school. So the fact that this has all happened and is like happening life, it's just wild. I'm super excited, super happy. I've been like giddy, literally giddy for like 4 days now. So yeah, summer's over. Woohoo! Fall! Yay! I just thought I'd talk about the things that have been my fave over the course of the summer months, the hot months, the heated months. Before we get too far into this video, I did want to mention that we have a sponsor for today. Yay, yay, yay. I am once again working with Skillshare on this video. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. If you don't know, where have you been? I'm kidding. Skillshare is basically an online community of classes that you can take. The fall is approaching, school time is approaching, learning time is upon us. But if you would like to learn about something that you are interested in and not required to learn about, Skillshare is an online website where you can choose to learn about the things you are interested in from pros in that field. For example, if you are interested in photography or like watercoloring, even languages, sign language, they have a class for that. It is wonderful. I have learned so much, so many skills that like are actually kind of hard to learn if you don't have an actual class in school for it. I've learned from Skillshare, for example, camera stuff, YouTube stuff, super useful things that I've always been like curious about but had no one to teach me. The point of all of this information is that the first 500 of you can get Skillshare for free. You can get free Skillshare for 2 months if you click the link down in my description box. Yeet, woo, get it, learning. Okay, cool, let's go. So yes, that is it. Let us move on. Let us leave. That is like the most obscure Avatar The Last Airbender reference. If anyone gets that, love you forever. Let's be besties. So I think I'm going to start with manga for my favorites because why not? Let's spice it up. I usually start with books. Let's go with manga for today. I have 2 manga faves for the summer. Bloop. The first fave I will do quickly because I have mentioned it rather a lot on my channel. It is Waiting for Spring. The 11th volume came out not that long ago. It came out in July, I think, and I read it, and I loved it, and I still am obsessed with the series. Basically, this is about a girl who has never like really put herself out there to make friendsies. And so in high school, she's like, I'm gonna work harder at this whole friend thing. And she gets involved in this basketball team of boys. Just a great start. I mean, really, from there, we're just like off to a great start. She befriends these boys who are all on the basketball team. It just kind of happens, and they're all very popular, and they're all very nice, great friendships, super cute. Of course, she falls in love with one of them, and then there's this long-haired guy on the cover, whom I love with my whole heart. It's just very cute. If you like Kimi ni Chidoki or Dream in Sun, Aoharu Ride, like any of those cutesy ones, you know, it's got lots of like the basketball games, so if you like Haikyuu, also great for that. I feel like this is like a combo of Haikyuu and Love and Focus. Yes, that's the perfect combo. If you like either of those, give it a try. And then my other fave of the summer is a very different vibe, although they're gonna sound similar when I describe them. It's Again. I read the first 3 volumes of this one this summer. I'm actually not sure how many are out, but I'm very much enjoying it. It's actually from one of the creators of Yuri on Ice, and from that I was expecting super cutesy. It's much more like Haikyuu. Like the romance is very little to non-existent, but I like that sometimes. It's basically about the cheering team at a high school. Like, you know, in manga, there's always the sports team, and then there's like the people who cheer for them, which I never thought much about until I picked up this manga. And then I was like, oh, I've seen this in like so many manga and anime. Never really thought about it. And this follows that cheering team. It also follows this guy who, this is not the guy, by the way. I thought that this was the guy on the cover when I first started reading it, but it's not. It's a different one of the characters. It is about this guy who, he went through all of high school and never really made friends, not because he's like antisocial or didn't want to. He just kind of got typecast as a loner. And that was how things went his whole high school career. And so on graduation day, he has an accident, falls down the stairs, and wakes up back the first day of school, freshman year, and he gets to redo his whole high school life. I find it very interesting because it made me think about the fact that, like, if you got to redo a certain time of your life as the person that you are at the end of that time of your life, everything would play out differently. Like, just think about how much you changed over the course of high school, and then imagine redoing high school, like, as who you are when you're 18. It would just be very, very different. And because of that, I'm really enjoying it. I will just say, though, if you heard Yuri on Ice and you were like, I want Yuri on Ice, don't go into this expecting it to be like that, because it's not like the cutesy fluff that is Yuri on Ice. Manga done! Woo! Next, I'm gonna go to K-drama. Wow, we're just changing the whole order of favorites. What a time. What a life. What a life, what a life, what a life. What a life, what a life, what a life. What a life, what a life. Technically, I have 3 K-drama favorites, but 2 of them are like kind of one, like I'm gonna kind of piece them together. So I'll start with the other one. My currently watching K-drama favorite is called Memories of the Alhambra, but this one is definitely my favorite of the whole summer, and I think is going to be one of my all-time favorite K-drama. Yes. High praise, I know. I started watching this one because one of my friends told me that Chanyeol from EXO is in it, and I'm currently EXO trash. We will talk about that later. Also, that it is by the same people who made the K-drama W2 Worlds. That's right, my all-time favorite K-drama ever, and this was made by those people. Going into it, that means that I had super high expectations, and I must say, it has lived up to them. Very interesting. I love the plot. I sometimes really like in K-drama when the main characters are older and the guy main character is like in his 30s. So I kind of like that aspect because they're adults, like they've lived a decent amount of life. It has like the very same appeal as W2 Worlds. If you liked W2 Worlds, you will like this one. I almost guarantee it. It's basically about this video game that gets invented, that there's a word for this. I don't remember what it is because I'm not enough of a video game nerd. I wish I was. I'm just not good at video games. It's basically the type of game where you're like in the real world playing it, like it's interactive with the real world. Someone comment down below what that's called. It's like AR or AT or something along those lines. Oh, AR, yes, augmented reality. Haha, look at me go. So this game gets invented and it is like new technology, like nothing's ever been like this before. And our main character is not the inventor of the game, but the like CEO of an investment company. So obviously he wants this game because it's gonna like change the world. However, the creator of this game, aka Chanyeol, baby boy, has gone missing, and so he starts playing this game to kind of like try and find the creator of the game, and then things go wild. If you've seen W2 Worlds, if you think about where you start in W2 Worlds and then like how much happens, like how many plot twists and like how complicated stuff gets, this is the same way. I love it. Don't know if I would say I love it more than W2 Worlds because Lee Jung-suk. However, I love the main female protagonist more than I loved the female protagonist in W2 Worlds. So like they're kind of balancing out, and I just love dramas that have to do with video games because again, I'm not good at video games and I kind of wish I was. My other 2 favorite K-drama are also featuring a K-pop idol as an actor, which I did not like realize until right now. That's not why I like them, just BTW. The first one is called Rookie Historian, and the second one is called My ID is Gangnam Beauty, and they are both featuring Cha Eun-woo as the main character. Wow. If you don't know Astro, they are basically my aesthetic as a K-pop group. Like, they're just so cutesy and colorful and weird, and I love them, and Eunwoo is my bias, and so he has been acting. The first one was My ID is Gangnam Beauty, which I did watch before summer, but I rewatched it during summer. I've literally watched this K-drama 3 times now, and it came out like not even 6 months ago. So, if that tells you anything, it is just a great college K-drama. There are some trigger warnings like eating disorders and some like stalking and a little bit of violence, which sounds a lot more intense than it is. Most of that is towards the end of the K-drama. The majority of it is just Eunwoo being adorable. I actually really enjoyed this one because I thought it was kind of an interesting commentary on like the culture of plastic surgery in Korea. The main character is this girl who was bullied and tormented her whole school life all the way through high school because of how she looks. So going into college, she decided to just get plastic surgery on basically her whole face. She now looks very different, and she is now more classically beautiful. That's why it's called Gangnam Beauty, because I guess there's this whole thing. Anyways, there's a lot going on there. But I thought it was really interesting because of how much they talk about people judging you for the way that you look. And it actually was very relatable to me as far as Eunwoo's character's like storyline. I related a lot to him. So I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was really good. Obviously, I watched it 3 times. I've literally never done that before with a K-drama. So. And then the other one that he is in is still currently airing, so if you do not like watching it while it's airing, just wait a little bit for this one because it's coming out 2 episodes every week, and it's called Rookie Historian, like I said. This one is a period drama, kind of similar to Scarlet Heart Rio Moon Lovers, but less intense. This one's a lot more like lighthearted. Our main character, she just never wanted to get married, so she is now considered an old maid, even though she's like not that much older than me. So, yeah. She says all these, like, feminist things, and given that it's taken place in a period drama, obviously they don't always go down well with the men of that time. But we stan her. I don't know how historically accurate this drama is, to be honest. It feels very modern, despite the fact that it takes place, like, back when there were kings and such. However, I don't care because it's so cute. I love our main female character. She is just the best. And then Eunwoo is the prince love interest dude, so cute, so innocent and pure. So yeah, a lot of it follows like the politics of the court and the girls as they become female historians. Highly recommend. I've been keeping up with it every week as it comes out. You can watch My ID is Gangnam Beauty on Viki, that's where I watched it, and you can watch the other 2 on Netflix. So I have one book favorite for this summer, not because I didn't read any other books that I like, just because this one stood out so much above the others. I think it's my favorite read of the year. And it is an arc. It comes out next month in September, and it is Frankly in Love by David Yoon. This is a debut novel by David Yoon, who is married to Nicole Yoon, who, if you don't realize, wrote The Sun Is Also a Star and Everything. I actually requested this arc from Penguin Teen because I was not able to get it at Book Expo, and I dearly wanted it. And I'm so glad that I did because I loved it so much. I've literally never read anything like this in YA, so there's that. I realize that this is going to become like one of those YouTube hyped books because I feel like everyone that I follow on Instagram is reading this arc right now. I genuinely loved it, so I have to talk about it. It was my favorite. Basically, we follow this Korean American young man as he's in his senior year of high school, but a really big part of the plot, and the reason that I really enjoyed it, is because of how candidly and openly it talks about the racism that he experiences in a very nuanced, complicated, and realistic way. Like, the stuff that he says in this book is the stuff that I've heard from my friends who are Asian American, the stuff that like we only really talk about with each other, and here it was being talked about in a YA book, and I've never read that before with a Korean American main character. We follow this young man who grew up in LA. He does not speak Korean, like in most ways is very American. His parents, however, immigrated from Korea. They don't speak English fluently. And pretty early on in the book, he just straight up says that his parents are racist. That's one of the reasons that I really enjoyed it, because it was so complex in how it showed racism, because he experiences it on both sides. It exposed me to experiences that I had never quite thought about, and just the way that everything addressed was so nuanced, but like head on, if that makes sense. So for that reason, I absolutely loved it. There were a couple things towards the end of the book that, like, plot-wise I didn't love, but I'm forgiving it because I loved it so much for everything else. So yes, it comes out in September. I hope you will give it a read. I literally, like, marked it and underlined stuff, and then as soon as I finished, I passed it on to my mom because I was like, Mom, you gotta read this. Moving on to music favorites. Wow, this has been a summer of great music. I almost don't know what to say. So I limited myself to two music favorites. However, the first one does involve, like, many aspects. It's fine. My first music favorite is, surprise, surprise, if you follow me on any social media, EXO. EXO. I've been listening to EXO music for, like, the majority of the time I've been into K-pop, which has now been, like, over 3 years. So it's not like I'm new to EXO. It's just that this summer I was, like, hit full on with all the EXO feels. The main reason for that is because a couple of the members released solo stuff and, like, subgroup stuff, and it was just my vibe. And by that I mean Baekhyun's solo album and EXO-SC, or Chanyeol and Sehun's duo album. Wow. We all know I love K-pop music. What I don't talk about a lot of the time is that I also love K-R&B and K-hip-hop music. And Baekhyun's album is like DPR Live, Dean, like that area of Korean music. Thumbs up for me. Love it. I've been listening to it nonstop. I think it's especially going to be like a fall album fave for me because it's more of that vibe. And then Sehun, my bias, and Chanyeol, probably my top bias wrecker, got together to just make my summer a great boppin' time, and that is what a Life is. It is just so good. I literally played it for my dad in the car, and he was like, this is good. What is this? I like this. And I was like, taste. I loved every song on the album. What more can I say? Because of that, it has just, like, fully awakened the EXO-L inside me, and I've been listening to EXO and consuming their content nonstop. Yeah, it's been a time. I literally watched EXO Next Door in one day. So, I did make a playlist of all my fave EXO songs so far, so I will link it down below. You can check it out. Highly recommend. I love them. And then my other music fave is also K-pop. Wow, surprise. I tend to only listen to K-pop in the summer, and then fall time comes and I'll listen to other music as well. I just feel like K-pop is my summer mood. So yes, another new release that happened this summer that I loved was Pentagon's new album. Sometimes Pentagon is a hit or miss group for me. I don't love every single song, but this album, wow, I loved it so much. One of the songs on this album is called Round 2, and it is my favorite Pentagon song ever. When it was released, I was just like, I don't know what the heck is happening in this song, but it's great. You must listen to it. Probably you should read the lyrics while you listen to it, because otherwise you'll just be like, what is this crackheadedness? Yes. I loved this comeback. I loved this whole album. I loved it so much that I just went and bought tickets to see them on tour in like 2 weeks. So, and I have absolutely no regrets. I can't wait to hear Round 2 live. It'll be a great all time. I have one more favorite, and it is skincare / random, but it's skincare. This summer I found a new brand of skincare called Noors. I think the name is a combo of Know Your Skin, because that's like their little lingo thingy. It is certified by the app EWG, which, if you don't know, is an app that helps people find clean makeup. It like rates it on a scale of how harmful it is to your body towards being like clean, and this brand is EWG certified, meaning that it's totally clean. So I got like a little tester kit of a bunch of their products, and I loved every single product. I then bought full-size versions of the products. I think I'm even going to buy one of the products that I didn't buy a full size of, because I've been missing it ever since I ran out of the little sample size. It just is super clean ingredients, and my skin loves it. It's not too scented, because I don't really like a lot of scent in my skincare, and it has just been helping my skin through the tough times. I do have a random favorite, which is low-key a plug for one of my upcoming videos. It is my room. Yay! Yeah. I recently had something fixed in my apartment and had to like move a bunch of my stuff. And then when it was fixed, I moved all my stuff back and I like reorganized and decorated a little bit. It's just been making me so happy, my room and how it is decorated. So I am filming a room tour this week. I know you guys have been asking for it for quite some time, like since before I moved to New York. But I have to say, I'm glad I waited this long because I now feel like it is done. It is ready. It has reached an aesthetic level that I'm now proud to show it. So I've just been loving my room and my desk and my space. Like I sit at my desk most of the time and it just makes me happy to look at all the cute things on the wall and my bookshelf and the cute things I put on my window and the cute things behind me. So yes, room tour upcoming in a couple weeks, I think, as of when I'm filming this. I'm not sure when I'm going to post it, but I'm filming it like tomorrow, so it's on its way. Those are all the summer favorites that I'm gonna talk about today. I have run out of energy despite all the coffee that I drank. Okay, comment down below something that was your fave from the summer, whether it is an actual like thing or just an experience that you had. That was great and wonderful. I love you all so much. I hope you're having a lovely day or night or afternoon, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.